Hi, this is Katie Shell, and this is the seventh and final video in my series of the Principles of Intuitive Aromatherapy, or Aromatherapy for Intuitive Development. So, this is the one where we really actually open up the mind. This is where we talk about opening up the mind and connecting with all of these other sources of feedback, whether you're other dimensional beings, other dimensional information. And it can be anything. It can be angels, guides, fairies, dragons, just cosmic wisdom in general. It doesn't necessarily point to any specific way of doing that. Although each oil, each kind of oil, each technique of anointing ourselves is going to kind of tune us into a different time and place, a different vibration, a different type of energy. And that's where really the nuances of working with aromatherapy start to come in. Like, I would like to work with wild chamomile for fairies. I like to work with anything blue for angels. Basil, birch for other lifetimes, for ancestors. And Greenland moss is amazing for just total expansion of the mind. But sometimes we want to be more focused. Sometimes we want to be like asking for specific questions and looking for specific answers. And so when that's the case, I like to think about like white pine cone, especially because the cones, because not a lot of aromatherapy companies, very, very few aromatherapy companies actually offer a cones only essential oil. Wisdom of the Earth is one of the ones that, of course, does that. And the beautiful thing about working with the cones only is it really tunes into the third eye, and which awakens our intuitive abilities and awareness. And the thing with the white pine in particular, the white pine cone in particular, is I find it's very, very good at helping us focus again on one thing. So if I'm doing a reading for somebody, I'm going to put on white pine cone. If I have a student or a client and maybe I'm doing energy work on them and I'm helping them receive things, I actually am unlikely to put white pine cone on them or suggest that they anoint themselves with that, because I want them to release and expand and just completely open up. So I might choose something else. Then any of the white energy, any of the white light energy, white pine in general, not just the cones, white spruce, white fir, white sage, even. Those are all really good for God consciousness energy, for cosmic awareness, for universal light, truth. We used to have one called gumweed, but that's no longer available, which is really good for light language. So I'm sorry to even mention it. I do have a little bit of it in stock if somebody is really, really drawn to light language and wants a little bit to work with, because of course these are energy. So, and when we're working with energy rather than kind of specific physical concerns of the body or emotional concerns of the body, we only need a drop. We only need a small amount. If we're working with having depression issues or physical ailments, we're going to want to work with a greater amount of the oil. But when we're really just tuning in to energies, one drop is fine. So again, if you're watching this and really into light language, the gumweed is fantastic for that. Um, but so of course, as we've been talking about through this whole series, the plants and the voices of the plants and the trees themselves are ways to experience and expand our knowledge and expand our awareness of the world around us. And so any essential oil is going to help you expand that. And the more you work with essential oils, even whatever one you're drawn to first, the more you're going to tune into the voices of the plants and trees, and more you're going to be able to receive that wisdom of the earth, and that knowledge, that innate knowledge that comes from Gaia, from the Mother Earth. And so we receive that, and we receive that on all these different levels. And working with all of these principles creates the channel. So a channel doesn't work in one direction. It is not one space. Like the reason a channel means, like, a channel is moving all these things, is connecting. It's about connecting things. So we want to create that full channel of the body, and bringing that energy all the way down. So as much as I'm talking about, this is kind of the head part, the expansion part, you have to continue to work with the whole body. And I find it very helpful if things, and I have a whole video on frankincense on this, um, when things feel stuck in the head, we need to bring that energy down. So even though we're talking about these oils that we've put on the head, so you can, drip it directly on the crown, you can put it on the temples, you can put it on the third eye. We I often find myself putting those on the lower parts of the body, so I can again create that complete, that channel for it to move through. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you with my courses on this. If not, I hope this helps, and have a great day. Oh, Katie Shell at katieshell.com or intuitivearomatherapy.com. Thank you again.